Okay. Wanneer ons praat van die aard van die wortel, you are describing the nature of the two answers of x that you will find. So you know you're solving for a quadratic equation, you get two answers. Now you are telling me what type of numbers are those answers. So let's say your two answers for x is -1 and 2. Okay? Are those real numbers? Yes, they're real numbers. Are they rational numbers? Yes, they are rational numbers. Are they equal to one another? No. So their nature is that they are real, they are rational, but they are not equal. Okay, but now I ask you to tell me something about the nature of the roots without solving the equation. So jy gaan nou nie gaan kry x is gelyk aan 3 en x is gelyk aan 5 en dan vir my sê 3 en 5 is albei reële en rasionale en ongelyke getalle nie. You have to do it using this method. So in your paper it will state give the nature of the roots without solving the equation. Therefore, if you solve the equation first and then tell me about the nature of the roots, you get a ronde eier for breakfast. Okay? Because, but you guys don't know, when I was here at school, down there where the Gasvryk Lokal was, there was Miss Passon, she was a legend. She was from the Namakwa land. And she said, you kry 'n ronde eier for breakfast. But you have to read when you are busy with maths. Please follow the instructions because I don't want you to miss silly marks. Okay. So I'm going to just quickly go through this and then I'm going to mark the 4 that I gave you for homework. And then you can ask me any questions. When we are working with the nature of the roots, the first thing that you have to know is you are working with that part of your equation. So if you know your equation, you know the part that you will use for the nature of the roots. It's the part under the toppy. Right? Okay. And also, it is only once you have written it in its standard form. Because once it is in its standard form, then you have a value for A, you have a value for B, and you have a value for C. Okay. But this, all of this is old news. So I'm going to work with this triangle from now on. But the triangle represents that thing under the surd. The B squared minus 4A. Ons noem hom die discriminant, maar dit hoef julle nie te weet nie. Okay. You just have to know what calculation you have to do. So then I drew you this, saying that if you get an answer smaller than 0, you are lucky. Then you only write one thing. You only write non-real roots. So as jy 'n antwoord kry wat kleiner is as 0, dan gaan skryf jy net nie reël. If you get an answer bigger than or equal to 0, the first thing you write is real. It has real roots. That's one of your 3 marks already sorted, né? Hy het reële wortels. Sy wortels bestaan. Jou sakrekenaar sê nie vir jou math error nie. Sy wortels bestaan. Okay. Then if you get that value is equal to 0, the next 2 stuff you write is rational and equal. Okay, so as jy hom kry, hy's 0, dan skryf jy reël, rational, gelyk. As jy hom kry, jou antwoord vir die driehoekie kry, en dit is 'n volkome vierkant, what does that mean? It is a number that has a whole number root, né? So 16. What is the square root of 16? 4. Do you agree 4 is a whole number? Okay. Or let's say 121. What's the square root of 121? 11. Okay. So then it falls within this category. So then you say it's real, it's rational, but it's not equal. Okay. Real, rational, ongelyk. Everyone still with me? Those you need to study, my boys. Study. Okay. And then any other number, if the little triangle is equal to 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or whatever, anything that you do not know, the root form of this is a whole number. You say it's real, it's irrational, and it's not equal. Okay. So, there are many different ways to make this studying a bit easier for yourself. For instance, there's only one situation in which you will write equal. Daar's net een geval waar jy gaan skryf my wortels is gelyk aan mekaar. En dit is as die driehoekie gelyk is aan 0. There is also only one situation in which you will write irrational. And that is when the triangle is equal to a number that is not 0 or a complete square. Okay. So gaan maak dit vir jouself, maak dit 'n puzzletjie. I don't care what you do, but you need to know these. Goed. So as ons dit het en ons gaan merk hierdie huiswerk, sien julle nommer 1 is klaar in sy standaardvorm. Do you agree? Number 1 is already in its standard form. So I'm just going to say for number 1, it's b squared minus 4a. What is the value of b? Negative 10. Do you see? Negative 10 squared minus 4. Sorry, I missed my c. A times c. And do you agree that that simplifies to 0?
Yes, ma'am.
Now you know your work, so immediately you know that means it's real, it's rational, and it's equal.
And then, ma'am, how many marks?
4. 3 or 4 marks.
Can you please mark where you get the mark?
A mark for substitution, a mark for answer, and 2 marks for your. If you have all 3 of them. You moet hulle al 3 daai. Jy het of 1 of 3 goeters wat jy sê. Jy sê of dis nie reël en dan jy net een ding wat jy sê, of jy moet 3 goed sê. Reël, irrasionaal of rasionaal, gelyk of ongelyk. Okay. It's not difficult. I'm going to sit right in front of the board. Ja, hy sal minder punte tel. Aibo. Ek gaan maar so aanhou lelik skryf, sorry julle. Okay. Number 2 is already in its standard form. Dis die eerste ding wat jy kyk, is hy in sy standaard vorm? Ja. So dan gaan stel jy net in. B is 5 kwadraat minus 4 maal 1 maal 7. And that gives you a negative answer, isn't it?
Yes.
25 minus 28. Is it minus 3? Okay. Negative 3. That's the lucky one. You only have to write down one thing. What do we say?
Non-real.
Non-real, nie real, nee? Easy points, boys. Okay. Second to last one. Sorry, julle, my handskrif is nou so lelik omdat ek hier om probeer balance. One to one, eh? Do you get a value of 1 to 1? What is the square root of 1 to 1? 11, eh? So met ander woorde, hy val in hierdie kategorie in. Hierdie enetjie. Do you agree? Real, rational, ongelyk. Not equal.
You first say minus 4 times 2, then times 15.
Doesn't matter. What did you get? You forgot to type in the minus 15. You just made it 15. Oeh, wat het nou gebeur? Sorry. Real, rational, ongelyk. Okay. Who is all of them correct so far? Lekker. Okay, last ene. This one is not yet in its standard form. So you need to go rewrite it first in its standard form so that you can identify A and B and C. You have that? Yeah.
Oh no.
Another negative one. Do you agree? Nog 'n negatiewe een, eh? So you get negative 11, which just means it's non-real roots.